Hi guys, I'm Jay, this is Vroom Vroom and I'm back at Hobbs Partner for my second classic auction, and this is Auction Fever 2. Unfortunately, over 60% of you watching haven't subscribed. Please do so, it's really important to me as a fledgling YouTuber to get the subscriptions in, to get the likes in and to get the shares in, so please consider doing so, it means a lot to me. So I thought I'd start this video going over to the second lot, the outside bit that they do. I'm sure not all the cars in here are for the classic one, but I've spotted some. These just look so dated now. It's a Mondeo, it's a saloon. The only saving grace is a 2.5 V6, but it is a complete moose. And looking at the state of those front discs, I don't think it's been running quite a while. This was actually my first car, not this particular one, but it was a Mini. It was an 850. I did used to love it. It was in white, and to remember I sold it for someone down the street. Ended up about 3 weeks later with a knock on the door from the police because it had been used in a drive off in the petrol station, but luckily it wasn't me. And those were the wheels to have back in the day. Wolf Race used to colour the inserts red, and they used to look the business. I remember being out with my friends. I had a black Capri, which was probably a 2 litre, and we were side by side with this, having a bit of a race. And I think we had about 4 people in the car to his 1. We had no idea that it was a V6, and quite rightly kicked me ass. Fiberglass needs a bit of love. That the gel coat is definitely gone. Here's one that you might recognise if you're a bit of a car buff. A little bit of a clue on the front number plate. Yeah, according to the ticket, this was a car featured in the show. It hasn't aged well. Apparently it's got a 2 litre Mondeo engine. Best thing about it are the seats. It is stripped out, but it really is a moose of a car. Apart from the seats, I can't see anything nice about that car at all. But what is nice, no, not one of those. Taxi. Wobbling the Lion. Look at this, what a beast. Daimler. I wonder if it's the straight 6. Oh yes, that's probably a 4.2 straight 6. What is a straight 6? Twin SU carbs. It doesn't look like it's been running in a while. Tax disc on it from 1982. Look at that. I think I should be driven around in this. I might buy it for the wife, get her a chauffeur hat. Sure she'll love it. These were really popular. when I was in my early 20s, and a mate of mine had one. It wasn't a cabriolet, it's a hardtop. I think it was the 320, and in the space of 3 days he managed to wrap this around a lamppost. I wrapped my Mark 1 Escort around another car, and my mate in his Mark 3 Cortina went head on with a Rover. In 3 days, all the three of us just lost our cars. And the weird thing is that this was probably at the time, the dearest car out of all three of them, and it'd probably be in third place now. I had the Gear X one of these. It was a 2.8 in grey, and the ABS pump had gone, and they were about £1,000 to replace. It's such a shame because it was an absolutely beautiful car. Really was a lot of space, and it was a worthy successor to the old box shaped ones. Can you imagine trying to park this in Tesco's? Take up 2 or 3 spaces. Another American. Nice customised flatbed. That's nice. Not practical for the UK though. You put something in the back end, by the first set of traffic lights it'd be gone. Now, this is nice. I do love a Jag. This is an XJ8. Colour's not to everyone's liking, but it's verified mileage at 32,700. Guide 5,500 to 7,500. That is a very nice car. This really does prove that everything has its day. I mean, now when Mark 1, Mark 2 Escorts, Cortinas, etc. are the classics to have, this is almost too old. A lot more difficult to drive. No modern comforts. And it's 1925. That really does take somebody who loves it. Did consider getting an MG not so long ago. I do like them in white, but the Euro bumpers really did spoil it. If you're going to get one, it's got to be the classic chrome bumpers. Very nice interior, rough style wheels, give a bit of a refurb. VW T25 camper. Guide on that 13 to 15,000, and I think that's actually quite reasonable. Quite a tidy interior. Amazing. They've got the bikes up for what I think is really strong money, and some of the cars in here are actually quite low on the reserve. And Land Rover, that's a G-Reg Series 2. Yeah, 2A. Guide, and that's 4 to 5,000. These are appreciating as well. And that is, let's have a look, see if it's genuine. I'm not sure. Normally the British Army paint the rear axle in white. $4,000 to $5,000. And the real reason we're here is for the bikes. It's a new one, an AJS Model 31. I think that's a little bit too old, but this you may recognise. It was in the last auction and it sold for what I thought was really strong money, and it doesn't look like it's been touched. I do remember this had no key, so there was no way of releasing the seat. I really did fancy this last time. Back tyre's flat, but this I'll keep an eye on sale day. But I have limited funds for it, and the fact that someone's put it back in does worry me slightly. But worth keeping an eye on. Honda CBR 600, what year is that? 97. Very, very clean. Some mileage. $50,000 miles. It's clean. It's not an expensive bike though. Be interesting to see what that goes for. Honda 50 step through. I had one of those as well. Back in 1987. I was working for HSS hire shops. Used to get me to and from work at about 25 miles an hour. Drive Bonneville 750. That's going to be a popular entry. 19,900 miles. Yeah, that's going to go for some money. I think that might be a bit strong for me. It's interesting. Honda Magna. I've never heard of this bike. A 700. Solid back wheel. $23,000 miles, correct. Wow. A guide of 1800 to 22. That's low mileage. A Ninja. Now where are... Let's have a look. 38,000 miles. ZX10R. 1000cc. We've got a guide on it. 2 to 3 grand. I don't see that somehow. But you never know. A lot of bikes going through this time. Another Triumph. Royal Enfield. Ah, and another one from the last auction. US Custom. Love to know what the story is, why they've returned. 101,000 miles, Honda VRF 750. And they reckon the guide on it is 14 to 1800. That's ridiculous money. I'd give 300 quid and I think I'd still be wondering if I got done. That's poor. Well, if you don't recognise that engine, perhaps you're watching the wrong video. Codsworth. not just a Cosworth, strut bar, induction kit, blow off valves, probably a larger intercooler, and if the new buyer's got any sense, he'll take all of that nonsense off and put it back to stock. Should think the guide on this is going to be a few quid. 20 to 25,000, I think that's quite conservative. 137,000 miles. Do like those wheels, they were very popular. We'll see what happens with that. Honda, yes, MGF, TF. I had one of those as well, in green, with a black convertible. It was a nightmare. I had to head off it about 6 times. The engine was warped. It was, oh, so much work. Radiators on the front, coolant's got too far to go. Any kind of air blocks in it just wrecks those engines. And the XR3i, another one that's going to make strong money. 7.5 to 8,500. Can't remember what they called those wheels. The poached egg wheels, something like that. They were quite nice. Just to show you from one extreme to another, Volvo 850. It's 1996. 4 to 5,000 pounds is the guide on it. 214,000 miles. Wow. So that's it for my whistle stop tour of the auction. Some cars and bikes there that are quite interesting, and I will report back and tell you what they went for. A couple of bikes there that slightly interested me, but knowing what they went for last time might just be putting me off slightly. But I have registered to bid in this auction, so we'll see what happens. Until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching, and see you again soon. Bye. Hi guys, thought I'd just give a quick update on what happened today at the auction. It was quite a mixed bag. Quite a few lots there were unsold, and didn't even reach the minimum bids. Some of the prices were very strong. The Scimitar, the orange one that you saw earlier in the video, went for £700, which I think was probably about right with the amount of work that needed to be done on it with the gel coat. The Suzuki, the one that was in the last auction, sold for £1,200. They had a minimum bid on it today for £2,000, which I thought was very strong. Didn't get a bid, so I might actually ring the auction house and just see about making a bid on that one, because I'm quite interested in that, and it's come up twice now, and it does seem to be perhaps a little bit fake there. But I'll give them a call and make them an offer and see what they say. The Honda VRF, the one that I thought was not very good, £700 was the minimum bid on that, and that went unsold as well. The AJS unsold, BSA unsold. The Yamaha did sell. The XS 750 SE went for £1,000. The Robin Reliant van also sold, and the interesting chop shop car, when I left the auction there a couple of minutes ago, and it was at £550. The Daimler, which I was just looking just for curiosity's sake, it was quite far gone, didn't actually go up in today's sale, which was a bit of a shame. So what's to be taken from this? Well, if you're selling a classic vehicle, put it through the auction, because you're going to get strong money for it. There was a Triumph Spitfire in there, a red one that I done a little bit of research on eBay just to look at prices, and yeah, what they had it up for and what they actually sell for on eBay is a vast difference. It was a lot cheaper on eBay for cars that you could go around first, drive, make sure they're okay. But that's just the way it is. So yeah, if you do want to buy, then yep, go to auction, but do your due diligence first, because there may be a cheaper option out there already. Alright, until next time guys, take care, see you soon.